instructions, which we'll look at just once we're finished here, just quickly reviewing the map, explain how all this stuff fits together. But it explains how teams will be bused, and it's about a 2-hour bus ride it was for last summer, where they were bused to the start location here. So took this road in from the north to where the triangle is. And the triangles just are what we use for the start. The first checkpoint is located here, second checkpoint, third checkpoint, and so on down the line. You'll notice we don't draw lines connecting the checkpoints together generally. And for adventure racing, that's we consider it a good thing. That's because that's up to you how you want to get there. And if I zoom in on this even more, maybe I can shed some light on some of the strategy that goes into adventure racing. And now this particular section of the race is really designed for trekking and pack rafting. So all the teams, you have to imagine, will have pretty rugged inflatable rafts that they can use. We wouldn't throw something like this at our team competing in our race this coming June just because we don't require pack rafts. But this race sets up pretty nicely because this is a nice Class 2, some maybe Class 3 water coming down here out of Moosehead Lake. There's also this double track. You can see the topographic map's got a trail that would connect you down here into where CP1 is located. But on the other side of the river, you can see there's another trail too. So this sets up really nice for us because right off the bat, we've thrown a decision or two at teams. If they're good at paddling and they've got good boats, I would expect them to get into the water. Unless, of course, the conditions are so bad, maybe it's really high water or maybe it's really low water. This is where there's a lot of unpredictability and why successful teams are ingenious teams for adventure racing, really adaptable. But at any rate, you arrive to the start, and that's their first chance to actually look and scout the water and decide, okay, are we going to go in or are we going to maybe take this road down to this checkpoint? And the checkpoint description for CP1, it says that it's on the north, or actually this map is oriented, not oriented with north at the top. So it's really the west bank of the river. But the checkpoint explains exactly where that checkpoint is located. So teams would then have, a decision, are we going to go in the water or are we going to go over land? And if we're going to go over land, do we go on this side of the water or do we go on the other side of the water? And the reason which side of the water teams might go on is made more complicated because once you start looking further down the course, so checkpoint 2 is out here on this island. That road on the west side of the river pretty much ends, at least according to the map over here. But on the other side of the river, you can see there's actually a network of roads. And you could run all the way down the other bank of the river. Hopefully you guys can see my mouse as I'm trying to, sure. Good enough. I can highlight it. Nope. Well, I highlighted CP1. Sorry, I caveated that my Adobe PDF skills are not so strong. At any rate, there's a couple of different ways that racers could tackle this leg from 1 to 2, and it really does depend somewhat on how they get from the start to CP1. And I could go on like this forever, and I won't bore you guys with the details other than maybe to zoom out just so you can see the entire leg. So CP3, right here, this is the end of the leg, and you can see there's a road that can connect you all the way there. So if maybe teams are terrible with their pack rafts, maybe their pack rafts pop or tear and they're not able to be used, or maybe the water level is so low, pack rafting is not an efficient way to get down the river. There's several different ways that you could tackle just this first section of the race. And I can say, because we've got GPS tracking on all teams, that I would imagine, I think every combination was exercised, including teams that would run to 1 and then they ran all the way to 2 to this tip here, if you can see that, and then paddled, and then from here paddled just across and then ran along the edge of the bank. So these are the sorts of decisions that adventure racing teams are confronted with the entire time. Some sections are more strategic than others, but that's maybe a quick micro study on mapping compass work and playing to your team's strengths if you've got good paddling skills or if you read water really well.